someone down whereby the investors came to see it, and we want to complete even to just to emphasize and even to what we promised the people on the peanut butter factory that we are going to construct in Omaheke. So these are projects that are ongoing. And we were happy to see when we went to Okorukurire and see the people in Okorukurire that each of every household has a backyard garden. And they are not even depending on going to the shops and buying, they are just getting those from their gardens. And these are the projects and the things that the governor is going to introduce on the food security in the region.
Any final remarks? Should the Namibians be attentive and see what the governor is going to say, and so that they can, hold him accountable for it?
Yeah, we want to report, and we want the people to hold us accountable on what we are reporting. And we are not reporting on something that is not been seen. I know that the people that came here to come and listen to the governors, they are coming from their homestead, they are coming from their villages, and they are going to see that this is the reality what we are saying. And we want to give hope to the inhabitant of Omaheke to see that the government is here to assist where they can, and we are here for them, and we want them to act and even to hold us accountable as leaders of the regions. This is my final remarks. When come, those that haven't even come yet, there is still time for them to come and listen to the state of the regional elders and see what happens in the region. Thank you.
Thank you. That was the chairperson of the Omaheke Regional Council, Rakungu Valva, just telling us his expectations about the upcoming SORAs. You can follow this proceedings or the SORA on all NBC platforms, as we'll bring you this coverage. Thank you.
After having welcomed the Honorable Governor for the very important region, the State of the Region address, we are now going to welcome the Honorable Chairperson to take the podium. Thank you.
Yes, good morning. Can we start with a national anthem and AOU? Thank you. In the same vein, I would like to invite the pastor to come and open us with a prayer. Pastor Neil Foxen.
We can all take our seats briefly. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our meeting here this morning. With my few minutes, allow me to share a few words of scripture before we pray. We have all come here this morning to listen to the State of our Region address by our Honorable Governor. And for the past few months, I know that he has been very busy gathering reports from the various directorates like education, health, security, agriculture, and urban and rural development, among others, in the region, in order to give us a true reflection of the state of our region. Our esteemed President has selected 14 governors in our regions. But imagine with me for a few seconds that we had 120 regions and our President had to manage the affairs of these all on her own. It would be a disaster, right? To make matters worse, imagine that there were no telephones, there were no cell phones, there were no emails, there was no fax machine, and the best you could have was to send a messenger on a horse with a message. This was the situation of a Median king called Darius, who had recently conquered the Babylonian Empire with his Persian counterpart, Cyrus the Great. The year was roughly 560 BC. The Medo-Persian Empire, according to historians, spanned roughly 5.5 million square kilometers. That is roughly 7 Namibias in size. It was the largest empire of the ancient world, they say, governing an estimated 50 million people, which accounted for almost half of the world population at the time. At its greatest extent, the Medo-Persian Empire stretched from Asia across into Africa and Europe, and included parts of our modern Iran, Afghanistan, Iraq, Turkey, Egypt, Syria, Greece, and Pakistan. How was a king supposed to manage such a vast area without the modern technology we have today? The Bible says in Daniel chapter 6, verse 1, that it pleased Darius to set over the kingdom 120 satraps to be over the whole kingdom. Now, a satrap is a prince. Now, imagine the autonomy each of these princes had in a kingdom that didn't have cameras to monitor everyone, in a kingdom where there was no WhatsApp messages to communicate any plot to overthrow the government. How difficult would it be to manage such a situation? In verse 2, it says that over these 120 princes, Darius set 3 governors, of whom Daniel was one, that the satraps should give an account to the governors so that the king would suffer no loss. These governors would have each had about 40 princes under them to report to them, and it was their duty to give reports to the governors over all political, economic, security, and other affairs of the empire. The success of the king of Persia was only as good as these 3 governors who reported to him. The success of the 3 governors was only as good as the reports of the 40 princes each one was looking after. You see, reporting at a regional level is critical to the success of a nation because it gives the pulse of the nation to the leaders who cannot be everywhere at once. Does Namibia suffer loss because of our failures to give true accounts of the state of our various regions? Omaheke princes and princesses, have you given true reports to your governor today so that whatever he's going to say is a true reflection of the state of our region? In verse 3, the Bible says, this Daniel distinguished himself above the governors and the satraps because an excellent spirit was in him, and the king gave thought to setting him over the whole realm of Persia. You see, Daniel had the spirit of excellence in him. The Bible doesn't say he had the spirit of excellence because he was motivated by fear of the king. Neither was it because he was a foreigner, therefore he felt he had to perform better than the nationals, but he was driven by something superior. He was so excellent, the Bible tells us, that the king had privately calculated to make him chief of the governors because the other 2 and their 40 were not performing as well as Daniel and his 40. Did you get that? So the king then said, let me put Daniel in charge of these others so that he forces them to work at his level because they don't have what he has inside. Daniel in Hebrew translates, God is my judge. You see, Daniel performed with excellence, I believe, because God was his judge. In the absence or presence of King Darius, he excelled and executed his duty because God was his judge. When he worked in the courts of the previous Babylonian regime, and also now in this Persian regime, he had a reputation for excellence. I don't know about those of you who are atheists, those from other religious beliefs, but if you are a Christian and you know the God of Daniel, in that position where you are today, that place where you work, where you are expected to perform, do you have a spirit of excellence because God is your judge? I can imagine being one of the 40 princes under Daniel. It must have been very tough. People who seek excellence, you'll agree with me, they are very demanding. People who seek excellence don't just let substandard things be filed in reports. People who seek excellence, they check grammar and spelling mistakes, amen? People who seek excellence, they turn every stone to find the truth. They are honest, they are committed, and they settle for nothing but the best. In conclusion, Daniel was distinguished by the excellence of his reports to the king because he demanded excellence from his princes, who then had to demand excellence from those who worked under them in their regions. I hope that this morning's address will mirror such excellence and that we can all have the spirit of Daniel, because this God who he served is our God today, and he is also our judge. Let us pray. Father in heaven, we thank you for these brief reminders that the political affairs we have today are not new, they are not modern, but they have been there since human beings moved on this earth. We thank you for the reminder of excellence from your servant Daniel thousands of years ago. And I pray that as all of us here today represent some form of organization, some form of government department, may the same spirit be in us, that whether we are seen or we are not seen, the spirit of excellence will push us to do our best. We pray for our leaders, national, regional, that you bless them with wisdom and knowledge, that whatever they receive from the hands of their subordinates, they may also take it further to give a true reflection of the state of this nation. Bless this meeting and everything that will take place. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Thank you very much, Pastor Neil Foxen, for the powerful word that you give us. And indeed, it's an encouragement, and even to give hope to the region. Honorable Governor, honorable councillors, today we only have one agenda on the table that I would like us to adopt. And before we are doing that, can we get a leave of absence? Honorable councillors?
Honorable Kashwani is with a committee. Parliamentary Standing Committee.
Okay. With that, can we adopt the agenda? Honorable Kalili? Adopt. Okay. Seconded, Honorable Kavari? Thank you. With that, Honorable Governor of Omaheke Region, Pijoo Nganate, Honorable Regional Councillors, Honorable Pagi Bakarai from the Pijoo constituency and Member of Parliament, Honorable Benyeser Kawapi Rudwa Oshinene constituency, Honorable Shetunyenga Kalili, Howabes constituency, Honorable Kavari, Usando Aminius constituency, Honorable Vincent Kavaka, Member of Parliament and Deputy Minister for Information, Mayor of Howabes constituency, Elvin Karisep in his absential, all local authority councillors that are present, Vetfley, Leonardville, Oshinene, traditional communities, leaders that are present here, Regional Commander of Nampol, Namibia Police, Henry Shivede, all security clusters, I'm seeing the correctional services, Mr. Peka Semba, Chief Regional Office and Senior Manager of Office of the Governor and Omaheke Regional Council, including delegated functions, Head of Land Ministries, representative of Metias, ladies and gentlemen, all protocol observed, good morning. And warm welcome to you all to this second extraordinary meetings. Today, council meeting is convened for one sole and important purpose as provided for by the provision of Article 110A, sub-article 5 and 6 of the Namibia Constitution, which empower and mandate our regional governor to deliver and state of the regional address. Honorable Governor, we are particularly honored by your presence. Your role as the political head of the region imported the link between the central government and our regional aspiration. This state of the regional address is not merely a formal obligation. It is an important opportunity to account and share the government vision that strengthens the foundation of our decentralized session governance. Fellow councillors, today we gathered not only to listen but to engage, reflect and renew our commitment to the people of Omaheke. The extraordinary session provides us with a platform to receive a comprehensive update on the status of the region, the achievements and challenges of the past years, and the planned intervention by the central government that will shape our future. In a spirit of unity, let us approach this deliberation with open minds, constructive dialogues, and unwavering dedications to service delivery. Despite the persistent challenges we face as a region, such as the impact of climate change on our arid landscape with unemployment and the need for enhanced education and health infrastructure, today's state of the regional address is essential for us to chart a way forward. In delivering the address, the Honorable Governor fulfilled a sacred trust to report on the status of Omaheke, our socio-economic dedication, security, health, education, agriculture, infrastructure project, and community well-being. He will also outline the central government plan, activities from the previous year, highlighting completed project, ongoing initiative, and forward-looking strategies. This transparency builds public confidence, enable us as councillors to align our regional plans and hold all phases of government accountable to the Namibia people. I therefore commend the drafted of our Constitution for this provision. It embodies the principle of participatory, democratic, cooperative governance and people-centered development enriched in our supreme law since independence in 1990. In Omaheke, we have witnessed the benefit through improved intergovernmental relations, targeted intervention in drought relief, road infrastructure along the Trans-Kalahari, support for communal farmers, and initiative in wildlife conservation and tourism. As we listen to the state of the regional address, let us commit to play our part through effective oversight, policy input, and community mobilization as the regional council. Honorable Governor, Marikuto Nganate, we eagerly await your address as we believe we inspire confidence and equip us with the knowledge to tackle the year ahead. In conclusion, I extend heartfelt thanks to all who have been made meeting possible, the dedicated staff member of the Regional Council and the Governor Office, ministries and agencies. I also thank the Metias for amplifying these proceedings to our wider communities. And I must recognize our former chairperson also, Ignatius Garizep, to make time to come and listen to your State of the Regional Address. Thank you that you came. With that, I call upon the Honorable Governor to come and address your people. I thank you.
Thank you very much. We may be seated. Let me also extend a word of welcome and appreciation to our pastor here this morning. You really lectured us very, very well. And I believe that one day we would have a session, Honorable Chairperson, where we can call knowledgeable people like Pastor Foxen to come and remind us of our duties and responsibilities as elected members and people entrusted with the well-being of our people. Thank you very much. Now, Honorable Roko Nguvova, Chairperson of Omaheke Regional Council and Management, Honorable Members of Parliament present, and when the chairperson was mentioning you, I was hoping that you will rise a bit so that the people can see you. Some of them do not see you. The chairperson you have seen, Honorable Kalili, that's the man you elected for Hobabes. Just stand up. When you wanted votes, you stood up. Honorable Kavari, Aminius. Honorable Kavaka, our Councillor for Shumbinde and also Deputy Minister of Information, Communication and Technology, and congratulations, Honorable Kavaka. Honorable Paki Pakara, also a Member of Parliament. Honorable Kashiwanyo, Kalari constituency, but is running around with the Parliamentary Committee. Honorable Kawapirura, Shinene constituency. And then we have our captain of the ship, the administrative head of the region, the CRO. Thank you very much. Those are the honorable councillors. Let me also extend a warm welcome to our chairperson, former chairperson, Honorable Garisep. Maybe you can stand so that they remember how you used to look like. You know, I always have the saying that some of us, we plant trees under which we will never sit. So you have also planted trees together with our former governors that I do not see here. But let me also acknowledge the presence of our Mayor, Honorable Garisep, Mayor of Hobawes Town. Let me also extend the same welcome to former mayors. I see Mayor Elvira Tron is here. I see Libereki from City of Windhoek, she's here. And many others that I do not see. My sincere apologies if I have omitted you. Let me also recognize the chairpersons of village councils. Oshinene is here. Maybe you can also stand up. And then, I know you. Vedflay. Is Vedflay here? Not. Where is the chairperson? Chairperson is not here. Leonard Vell? Yeah. Let me also acknowledge the presence of our local authority councillors present here. And let me also acknowledge the presence of the Honorable Ruth Kaukwatambura, SWAPO Regional Coordinator. Is she around? Other political party representatives around here. Let me also recognize our service chiefs, Commissioner Shivede. Maybe you can also rise, the councillors were doing so. That's the Police Commissioner, Lieutenant Colonel Gamwa of Chief Munyuku Nguvova Battalion, not here. Assistant Commissioner Robert Giwilepo of the Correctional Services. Mr. Forbes, Auxiliary Services, Office of President, where is he? There he is. Why are you seated there? Heads of line ministries present here, heads of enterprises, faith-based organizations, non-governmental organizations. My wife, comrade wife, help me. Yeah, my well-being depends on that woman, and she's my share leader and my prayer warrior. Thank you also for being here, my wife. And then very important, my unsung heroes and heroines, the foot soldiers and the trench workers, those people feeding others while they have themselves not much to feed from. Let me also recognize members of war veterans organization that are here, NECA, Tawoloka, you are all heartily welcomed. My uncle is also a war veteran, Nganate. Can you also stand up? He was shot in the war and wounded. Thank you very much. Community, beloved community of Omaheke and our country at large, members of the media, the people who are telling our beautiful story of Omaheke, ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning to all of you. Now, there is a village in Namibia, in Omaheke region, in Oshinene to be specific, called Okurukurure, which loosely translates to the razor or a blade. And we know what a blade does. It's sharpened on both sides, cut on both sides. This village consists of about 50 households and is inhabited by a community of mostly farm workers and former farm workers. Now, why do I mention farm workers and former farm workers? Just to tell you the story that the farm workers that are inhabiting our town of Hobabes on the outskirts, if they are properly organized, properly motivated, properly structured, they can do the same story that I'm about to tell. These people live in peace with one another, and they share one thing in common, which is food security and food sustainability. Okurukurure is not an ordinary village. It is one that can become a game changer in our life and in our drive towards food security, and a catalyst in realizing the dream of our President, Her Excellency, Dr. Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah, in taking agriculture as an enabler in fighting hunger, poverty, unemployment, and restoring the dignity of our people. We cannot live dignified lives as long as we are fed by other people. Every household in Okurukurure has a sizable backyard garden under irrigation, as well as a rain-fed garden. And this is not a fantasy I'm telling you, it's a real story. I had to go myself there to really witness this beautiful story of former farm workers and farm workers. Their produce ranges from fruit trees such as lemons, oranges, narkis, and bananas to traditional vegetables such as onions, carrots, and chilies. Okurukurure and many other villages have given me the hope that there is indeed a brighter future for Omaheke, and that my dream of ensuring that no child goes to bed on an empty stomach is attainable. Same can be said about Aurevia of Katua there. Those are some of those villages that are telling me that we can make sure that no child in Omaheke goes to bed on an empty stomach. Okurukurure is also testament to the fact that we can no longer be comfortable with high levels of poverty and inequality. The President's dream of shared prosperity is not a far-fetched dream, but it's an attainable one. Honorable Chairperson, honorable members, I'm in agreement with Her Excellency the President that we are too few to be poor. I also agree with the sentiment echoed by her mentor. And now you see, when you are mentored by people like Her Excellency have been mentored by Malimo Julius Nyerere, and Julius Nyerere stated that there are enough resources in every state to feed its people. But the problem lies in how we distribute those resources. Namibia also, Omaheke also, have enough to feed its people, but how do we distribute those resources? Are they geared towards people, or are they self-enriching? What is our motto? What is our approach? How do we distribute these resources? That's a question that we all need to ask ourselves, and we need to agree with the late Julius Nyerere when he really said there are enough. And God was not stupid when he created states. He made sure that every state is having its own resources and can feed its own people. Now allow me to report on all the achievements, the challenges and opportunities that the region has faced for the 2025-2026 fiscal year in fulfillment of the mandate conferred by Article 110A, subsection 5 and 6 of our Constitution of our Republic, in alignment with the National Development Plan 6 and the SWAPO Party Manifesto. And I'm happy you're here to see whether the manifesto is being adhered to, Comrade Bura. The theme for this year's State of the Region address is a bold one, and it's very bold, it's very ambitious, and I want you to own it. Unlocking Omaheke's industrial potential through manufacturing and mining. It's bold, it's challenging, and when we want to achieve, we have to put the standards very high for ourselves. It should almost be something that will keep us awake at night and give us nightmares. Honorable Chairperson, we cannot sleep peacefully if we give ourselves this bold statement, unlocking manufacturing and mining, the potential that there is. It is a theme that transitions us firmly from the planning stages to aggressive execution. We need to move from planning to execution. And that is not only the honorable councillors, it involves every one of us as inhabitants of this region. By focusing on primary manufacturing and mining, we look to build an industrial foundation that complements our agricultural strength, ensuring we add value locally to our raw resources. It is now my distinct honor to present a comprehensive overview of the milestones achieved, the challenges managed, and the emerging strategic opportunities recorded across our various sectors during the preceding fiscal year. I don't know, Pastor Foxen, whether you really were part of this arrangement, but what you said, it's very true that not all government ministries are eager to contribute to the State of the Region address. And sometimes we deny people the opportunity to get this information, what was done to them. And it's not my State of the Region address, it's our State of the Region address, it's our state as a region. Now, starting with the Office of the Governor, that serves as the primary incubator for the socio-economic partnerships required to spark regional growth by securing strategic investment in rural infrastructure, food security, and primary economic support. The Office of the Governor is actively laying the stabilization foundations upon which our broader manufacturing and mining ambitions will strive. The Office of the Governor secured a landmark 3-year partnership with the Swakopmund Uranium Foundation to support the development of Farm Nieuwehoop, New Hope. And I see some people are still having reservations about Farm Nieuwehoop. That's an initiative that is not for Nganate. It's for this region. And community infrastructure projects. During the first year of the partnership, the foundation committed $3 million to infrastructure development and agricultural production. That's roasting uranium. By the end of the 3 years, the foundation has budgeted approximately $6 million to truly advance food security and feeding programs in the region. This partnership represents one of the most significant private sector investments supporting food security and community development into the Omaheke region. As part of the Swakopmund Uranium Foundation investment, major infrastructure improvements are being implemented at Farm Nieuwehoop. These include the rehabilitation of 2 boreholes and water dams, the expansion and improvement of greenhouses, the construction of a chicken coop production facility, a rabbit production unit, and a goat kraal with a capacity to accommodate approximately 800 goats. And I want to invite you, dear residents, to really go visit Farm Nieuwehoop and see what is being done there. And as I said, we plant trees under which we will not sit, some of us. These are trees we're planting. These are things that are aimed at improving food security, that we all should jealously guard against vandalism thereof. And we cannot hana about semantics when people are dying of hunger. Seriously not. We can also not politicize from Nivehoop because of trying to gain political gains here. We can't. We don't have time for that. These developments will significantly enhance the farm's production capacity and contribute to sustainable food security initiatives in the region. Additionally, 100 Boer goats were supplied to Farm Nivehoop, bringing us closer to fulfilling our vision of providing 1 glass of milk per child per day. Furthermore, a total of 50 youth will benefit from youth plots at Farm Nivehoop. We also want to further divide those 50 youth plots of 1 hectare each into half a hectare so that we can accommodate 100 young people. 100 young people that will be incubated at Farm Nivehoop. And still you want to play politics. Enabling them to gain first-hand agricultural experience and create food security for their households. A total of 3 staff members have been employed on the farm, and we want to employ more, and especially we want to employ mothers of children living and working on the streets so they can have a meaningful income. The partnership also includes vital renovations to the Pako Old Age Home and 5 early childhood development ECD centers. Now let me pause a bit on the old age home. Honorable members, sometimes we create facilities that we ourselves would not want to live in. One such is the Pako Old Age Home. I don't know one of us here, if we want to retire one day, whether we'd want to live there. Surely not. And that's why we identified the Pako Old Age Home to be one of them. There's renovations underway at the Pako Old Age Homes, as well as the Light of the Children's Center. Additionally, the Old Age Home will receive new furniture to create a comfortable and dignified space for our pensioners. Regarding the office's efforts towards curbing malnutrition, the Office of the Governor strengthened its partnership with Head Start Kids Namibia through the development of a 5-year climate-resilient child nutrition and essential services initiative. Now, honorable members, you will notice that Omaheke, we are not going to concentrate only on Omaheke. We're going to go national. We've included 7 other regions to benefit from our program that we started in Omaheke. We have identified them, priority regions for implementation. The initiative seeks to reduce child malnutrition while strengthening climate-resilient essential services through an integrated approach combining child nutrition, renewable energy. You see, we're going beyond that because it's not only feeding children, we have to go at economic activities, healthcare support, and community resilience. Planned interventions include the provision of fortified meals and micronutrient supplementation for children aged 0 to 60 months, regular growth monitoring, and deworming programs. And Pastor Foxen's wife is the one dealing with the children. Strengthening referral systems and install solar systems at priority clinics, ECD centers, schools, and community feeding points. The installation of refrigeration system for vaccines and nutritional supplements, solar water pumping systems, and additional monitoring tools. Capacity building for local institutions, technicians, caregivers, and community stakeholders to ensure long-term sustainability. The next phase will focus on finalizing implementation and partnership frameworks, mobilizing financial and technical resources, identifying priority facilities for the initial rollout, establishing regional coordination structures, and strengthening local capacity to ensure effective long-term ownership. Once implemented, the initiative is expected to significantly improve child nutrition, food security, strengthen maternal and child health services, enhance the reliability of public services through renewable energy, and increase the resilience of vulnerable communities to drought and climate shocks. It will also create employment and skills development opportunities for local technicians and community workers while strengthening collaboration between government, development partners, civil society organizations, and the private sector. At the national level, this initiative supports Namibia's efforts to combat child malnutrition, strengthens climate adaptation, and contributes directly to achieving Vision 2030. Now, honorable members, it sounds like a far-fetched dream. But the future belongs to those who see it when their eyes are closed. If our eyes are open, we see too many things, we get distracted. But when we close our eyes, we see a bright future, like the one I painted, what the 5-year plan is aiming at. Also, the Chamber of Commerce, I see you, Chairperson, welcome. The 6th National Development Plan, NDP 6, and the Sustainable Development Goals, the SDGs as they are called, on the various support initiatives to schools, the office funded tuition and registration fees amounting to about 25,000. Students attending NAMCOL and the Eureka Medical Institute. This directly complements a separate partnership program that provided tuition to institutions of higher learning, with a running group of companies sponsoring an additional 40 students to the amount of $106,000. Running group of companies, by the way, provides every office of a governor with $100,000 yearly to pay for registration fees of students. We forced them to pay $106,000 worth of tuition. So for your children. Additionally, the office provided 9,900 worth of sports uniforms to Ver Genoeg Primary School, Omatalos, Seju School that support, equipping their netball, volleyball, and soccer teams. An allocation of 30,000 was made towards vital infrastructure development and upliftment projects at the Pukiro Secondary School and now Sanabes Primary School in Leonardville. On SME and youth sport, the office directed 98,000 toward purchasing equipment for youth-owned businesses, supporting various youth initiatives, and procuring services from youth-led enterprises. Ensuring local capital directly stimulates the grassroots economy. An amount of 71,800 was allocated across various community support and social projects. This included supporting chess development for 2 learners who went to perform in countries like Zimbabwe, another one a little bit further than Africa. These are children from a private primary school. Supplying crucial furniture to Voetspore, ECD, providing building materials for the Nosopville Cemetery, equipping the St. Joel Apostolic Healing Mission with a sound system, supporting the reintegration program for children living and working on the streets, implemented through the Ministry of Gender Equality, Poverty Eradication, and Child Welfare. The Office of the Governor invested in various agricultural initiatives to improve food security and nutrition across the region. A key intervention was supporting the Pukiro Post 3 Clinic Nutrition Garden by procuring seeds, irrigation systems, shading infrastructure, and land preparation, and providing technical assistance. This project contributes to improved nutrition outcomes, particularly for children under the age of 5, TB patients, and people living with HIV/AIDS. With a sponsorship value at 22,000, in terms of the housing and construction support, the office procured 240 bags of cement to assist the Czech Dwellers Federation with housing projects in Vetvlei, Omitara, and Koreses, with a portion of the bags allocated to the Oshivero Combined School for the construction of a netball court. Furthermore, the office sustained the regional soup kitchens support program, distributing food parcels over a 3-month period to more than 37 soup kitchens across the region, following consignments from the Office of the Prime Minister and the Ministry of Gender. Ministry of Gender Equality and the Namibia Revenue Agency also contributed towards these efforts. At present, we are rolling out sanitary pads and stationery to schools, with 4 schools having already benefited. The stationery was a generous donation by a son of the soil, our very own Mondi Shodongoro. He have closed his stationery shop here and gave all the stationery to the office of the governor, and we are distributing them to all the schools as we go by. And I think he deserves a round of applause. Other people would think of making money out of it. Mondi Shodongoro decided there are children who need these books, who need the pens, who need the pencils, and all those things, and donated it to the office. And everywhere we go, we give them. Additionally, community infrastructure allocations included supporting the Nossobel Cemetery with cement and materials for a gate valued at 9,700, supporting the Okombomi Women's Project, a group of 10 women in Epukiro with a cement mixer valued at $24,263. This intervention aimed to increase capacity and production for the enterprise, which previously mixed materials manually. The group produces around 200 bricks per day, creating sustainable employment for women, started in 2017 to create affordable bricks for surrounding villages. The group has since registered with all regulatory authorities. The funds generated help send children to school, upgrade shack houses to brick structures, and meet basic needs. To unlock our true industrial capacity, our primary economic sectors must transform from trading raw materials or raw commodities to anchoring sophisticated processing networks. This pillar details our transition toward industrialization by shifting from raw farming to localized agro-processing, such as our plant peanut processing plant. I was the other day with the chairperson in Summerdown, Oshinene, Stenhausen, with an investor from South Africa who came to look at where can we put this peanut butter manufacturing plant. These are not mere dreams. And preparing for advanced mining operation through technical consultations on the Leonard Valley uranium project. Omaheke is directly turning the regional theme into an operational reality. Let us look into the various pillars. Pillar 1, agriculture. According to the Namibia Statistics Agency, agriculture remains the backbone of our regional economy, employing 39% of all employed persons in the region, making it the largest employment sector in Omaheke. Skilled agricultural occupations account for 28.6% of total employment in the region. The Omaheke region received sufficient rainfall in the 2024-2025 cropping season after a prolonged consecutive 3-year drought that followed the COVID-19 period. Many areas in Oshombinde, Pukiro, Shinene, and Okorukambe received rainfall exceeding 500 millimeters, while Hobawes, Kalahari, and Aminus recorded averages above 300 millimeters. Grazing has recovered substantially, and livestock conditions are good to very good across the region. Livestock marketing has declined, but market prices remain steady despite the challenges posed by lumpy skin disease and foot and mouth disease outbreaks that hit large feedlots in South Africa. In Namibia, and in Omaheke in particular, we're trying to keep this region foot and mouth free as much as possible. We have over 200 young people alongside the border of Namibia and Botswana, repairing that fence, clearing the road there, and quite a substantial amount of work have been done. And I can only applaud our young people that we always used to say, our young people are not ready for hard work, but they have proven us wrong, and they deserve a round of applause. It must be noted that the past rainy season recorded a devastating lumpy skin outbreak of a magnitude never witnessed before in Omaheke. Honorable Chairperson, honorable members, the Directorate of Agriculture, Production, Extension, Engineering Services under the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, Water and Land Reform continue to implement the dry land crop production program and the comprehensive conservation agricultural program in the Omaheke region. Under this project, the total area under crop production increased from 500 to 800 hectares this year. I think we need to applaud ourselves. 500 hectares to 800 hectares. It tells me that we are serious with food production. of which 600 hectares were directly assisted via government tractors and indirectly through private tractor subsidies. And while I'm there, this does not include the commercial areas. But as we stand today, Honorable Chairperson, Omaheke is graded the biggest crop production area under irrigation in the country. And it happens in the area of Samadown, where a few farmers are doing miracles there. And we must applaud these farmers. When I took the Minister of Agriculture there, she was amazed. She was asking me, Governor, are we in Namibia? I said, yes, Comrade Minister, we are not only in Namibia, we are in Omaheke. In Omaheke. It tells me about the story that President Hage Geingob used to say, that you fill a glass with water and you ask someone, is it half empty or half full? If you are a pessimist, you say half empty. If you are an optimist, you say half full. So beautiful things are happening in this region. Many crop fields show maize and cowpea yields perform well through pests and diseases, particularly the fall armyworm and the armored crickets significantly decrease final yields. The region utilized 17 tractors for the first time, employing 17 tractor drivers and providing additional employment to 180 Namibians who participated in 7 weeding groups. Under the National Horticulture Support and Value Chain Development Project, the region provided input subsidies to 169 farmers to purchase seeds, fertilizers, shade nets, poles, irrigation materials, tanks, tungstens, borehole water pumps, and pesticides. In addition, 355 farmers were trained in horticulture production. With respect to livestock, Omaheke received 420 small stock units, mainly goats, which were distributed to 20 identified farmers in communal areas. These small stock assets are to be cared for and rotated to other farmers in need every 3 years within each implementing constituency. Furthermore, 24 farmers benefited from the Poultry Value Chain Development Scheme, with an additional 36 receiving training in chicken production. 17 farmers also benefited from the Dairy Value Chain Development Project this year, with subsidies covering the purchase of production, stock, veterinary medicine, feed, machinery, and equipment. To encourage commercialization and crop diversification, the region hosted a 2-day crop farmers fair at Ovinyuru village in the Pukiro constituency. And while I'm at Ovinyuru village, there is a young man called Lloyd Kadapwa. Is it Kadapwa the same name? Kadapwa. This young man is a tour guide. And when it was his birthday, he asked his friend not to buy him gifts, but to give him money to develop the center in the village he's coming from, Ovinyuru. He collected money from the tourists, and instead of building himself a beautiful house, he built a beautiful center at Ovinyuru. Now, those are the people that I said are my unsung heroes. Can we also give him a hand of applause? Some of us would not have done it. This annual event rotates among constituencies to raise awareness of food production and processing in rural areas. Other crop day initiatives included the early Oshinene and Oshimati crop fairs, with an upcoming fair scheduled for Talismanes from the 17th to the 19th of July, 2026. One of the key priority areas of the 8th administration is the establishing of manufacturing plants in each region of our republic. During the Prime Minister's visit to the region in May 2026, the viability of establishing a regional peanut processing plant was deliberated on. Given the substantial amount of local peanut farmers in the Omaheke region, there is an immediate opportunity for industrial agro-processing and local value addition. The plant will add value by producing plum nuts, peanut butter, cooking oil, and peanut-related products. The Office of the Governor is currently engaging strategic partners to identify a suitable site for the plant and discussions are underway for potential donors. This planned initiative directly embodies our regional theme, unlocking Omaheke's industrial potential through manufacturing and mining. And I want us to memorize. Can we quickly go back there? Can we all say after me so that it's ours? Unlocking Omaheke's potential manufacturing and mining. That's our theme. Chief Khotsimang, thank you for being so obedient. Unlocking Omaheke's industrial potential through manufacturing and mining. We have to manufacture. We have to mine. There are a lot of copper deposits in the area of Witfley, and I know the farmers are not very keen for mining also in that area. But they have to come to the table. We cannot talk about our farms and our privacy while other people are dying next to those resources. It's ungodly, it's unchristian. We can't do it. By transitioning from raw farming to localized agro-processing, this plan serves as a tangible driver of our manufacturing ambitions, transforming agricultural output into high-value industrial products while creating sustainable economic opportunities. To accelerate this initiative, the Office of the Governor and the regional leadership undertook an official benchmarking and resource mobilization mission to Pretoria, South Africa. We visited manufacturing plants of similar nature, and we are currently engaged in advanced talks with these companies to establish a collaborative venture in the Omaheke region. With regards to uranium mining, Headspring Investment is currently exploring an in-situ leach mining method near Leonardville, presenting massive potential economic and employment opportunities for the Omaheke region. Of course, we know that the aquifer is sensitive. But when I was in Marindal, I also asked the participants there, how do I tell a person who have no access to a glass of water that water is under threat? Doesn't add up. It really does not add up. Now, the people of Leonardville are looking at this mine as their only way out to move out of poverty, to move out of unemployment, to move out of their misery, and by extension, the Omaheke region. The transboundary aquifer, the Namibia government requested independent technical consultation from the International Atomic Agency, whose expert delegation visited the site in February 2026. Following this expert fact-finding mission, the state will base its final environmental clearance decision strictly on resulting scientific data submitted by the Environmental Atomic Agency. Now, moving to forestry, the Directorate of Forestry spent 235 days on law enforcement during 2025-2026 financial year. However, law enforcement activities such as setting up roadblocks, conducting farm inspections, and conducting patrols to curb illegal activities remain a challenge because regional officers lack reliable roadworthy vehicles. The Directorate issued a total of 7,630 permits to facilitate the movement of forest products such as charcoal and firewood. And we want to see charcoal and firewood also being harvested in communal land. It must come to communal land. Cannot be only to commercial land. You cannot tell me that communal land will put the field to fire, but commercial land cannot do it. It's an understatement. I hope the forestry people here and ourselves as leaders will enforce this so that we can also debush in communal land and improve our grazing and also make money and stop selling every single animal of ours and have income from those resources as well as resettlement farms. This represents an increase from the previous year, especially regarding transport permits indicating growing interest from farmers in venturing into firewood and charcoal production. Other permits issued included harvesting, exporting, and marketing permits. No import or transit permits were issued. The government must provide consistent support for farmers to properly venture into this sector. Fewer forest products were confiscated during the review period. This is primarily attributed to resource limitations, including a lack of roadworthy vehicles, unreliable fuel supplies, and delayed head office approvals for staff, substance and traveling allowances, and remunerative overtime. A decline in both charcoal and firewood production was observed. The region produced 46,762 tons of charcoal, drawn from 99,000 tons produced during the year 2024-2025 financial year. The region produced 78,828 tons of firewood, down from 82,000 tons produced in the previous year. Droppers increased from 285,000 to 370,990. Poles increased from 48,832 in 2024 financial year to 50,928 during this year. The Directorate sold 861 seedlings from the government nursery and donated 60 seedlings to various schools, government offices, and churches. Firewood was also donated to schools and soup kitchens, providing meals to vulnerable children to help mitigate malnutrition. Total revenue generated from seedling sales and permit issuance amounted to $800,827. Fell fire remained a major threat. Pockets of outbreaks were recorded across the Oshombinde, Oshinene, Epukiro, Aminus, and Kalari constituencies, resulting in the loss of property, livestock, and wildlife. Communities are continually cautioned through media platforms about the irresponsible use of fire. Beyond transportation constraints, the Directorate faces institutional challenges because its functions have not yet been decentralized from the head office. The containment of fell fires is further hampered by uncoordinated efforts and the lack of comprehensive regional fell fire management strategy. Topographical factors and limited water availability in certain areas also impede firefighting operations, resulting in the loss of vast grazing lands. Looking into the constituency efforts, the Pukiro constituency office continue to contribute to increased food security at the constituency level through support of local farmers with goats and cattle totaling to 204,000 Namibian dollars, utilizing the VAT refunds. The Okorukambe constituency office during 2025-26 financial year supported several initiatives: the establishment of a pig production farm at Farm Duplessis to promote sustainable livelihoods in rural communities. The Squanate Community Garden is transforming underutilized spaces into productive areas. The establishment of Green Scheme project at Summerdown, where a borehole was successfully drilled across the 2024-2025 and 2025-2026 financial years. In the current financial period, the Okorukambe Constituency Office, in collaboration with the Directorate of Agricultural Production, Extension, and Engineering Services, plans to complete gardening support projects across various areas, including Vetfley, Omitara, Duplessis, Squanate, and Epukiro RC for cultivation of vegetables, fruits, and crops in the Oshombinde constituency. And this is a beautiful story of Oshombinde constituency. Let me quickly have water. I'm also someone's child. And my secretary, can you even bring a glass for Kwetu? Now, the Office of the Prime Minister supported the Oshombinde Community Garden with the rehabilitation of 2 boreholes. And when we went to Oshombinde, the first quotation that we got was for government. You know, when they quote for government, they quote a price out of heaven. And then when we went there, the Honorable Councillor, and we say, can you please code for us now? The code was now earthly. And boreholes could be drilled at even less than half of the original code. Now, the installation of a solar-powered water system, fencing, and the construction of a water tank stand and security guard houses. This intervention aims to improve water access for agricultural activities and enhance the local food production. The garden directly supports 80 youth through a centralized cooperative framework. Now, when we went there, we were told that when these people got payment, all the shops in Oshombinde ran dry. They have to go back to Hobabes to refill them. The streets of Oshombinde were empty. There were no more youth on the streets that were consuming alcohol and those things because they were kept busy. And they are there. Unfortunately, we lost one of the ladies on the garden there when she gave birth, but the child is saved. But we lost her. She was also working at that garden. Honorable Chairperson, honorable members, moving into the sports pillar. While sports and creative expression drive social cohesion, they also represent a crucial economic engine for youth empowerment. In an industrializing economy, sports infrastructure projects serve as a vital training ground for structural project management, local construction employment, and regional commercial integration. Investing millions into modern sports fields across our constituencies ensures our youth development, discipline, and physical health required to step into our region's expanding industrial workforce. Sports remain a vital tool for youth development, social cohesion, and regional pride. I am pleased to report that both the Omaheke football and netball teams represented our region with distinction at the 2026 Namibia Newspaper Cup. There is a Mr. Kake Inoshinene, who's a sports officer. Immediately the Monday after those games, he tabled a report in front of at my desk. And this is the type of civil servants that we want, people who can produce reports. I think we must applaud Mr. Kake. I don't know whether he's in this house. People, we must report on government expenditure. Government is spending money, but we don't tell our government beautiful story. The teams displayed exemplary attitude, teamwork, and determination. I also have to applaud Suma Kavirombo, who had many times, out of his own pocket, maintained these soccer teams, even making them sleep at his house. We do have people in this region who are very much sacrificing their own resources for the sake of the region. Showcasing the immense talent within our constituencies regarding the basic sport facilities, the Namibian government has delivered on its commitment to establish sport infrastructure to support the creative and athletic industries, targeting the construction of 121 sports fields nationwide by 2030. To that end, Talismanes and Oshinene have been identified for the construction of regional stadiums with a budget of $10 million per field. This represents an opportunity for our athletes to flourish while utilizing the general public through fitness groundbreaking ceremonies for both facilities. Groundbreaking took place in March this year. Now with Omaheke, topographic survey have been done, bill of quantity have been done, surveys and additional architectural drawings have been completed for both sites. Talismanes Sports Facilities making great progress with the perimeter fencing fully completed by the contractor. Oshinene is lucky in this case that we have already a fence there. Items were submitted for costing. Recommendation letters for both contractors have been finalized and proposed contracts have been drawn up, with formal signing scheduled to take place soon. The authorized signatories on these accounts include the Chief Regional Officer that you see here, the Director of Finance in the Regional Council, the Director of Education, I think she's there, and the Office of the Governor for the first time is going to have a Deputy Director And I want to congratulate Ms. Nganate Imasiku, who have been appointed to that position from the 1st of May. Looking at other sports matters, the Pijoo constituency office aiming to enhance grassroots sport development presented netball kits and school flag valued at 7,500. The Omaheke Primary School, as part of constituency-driven targeted programs, additional sports development investments during the period included the Office of the Governor donated sports kits for netball, soccer, and volleyball to Vergenoeg Primary School, valued at 9,900. The Office of the Governor donated 60 tracksuits and 48 backpacks valued at 29,000 to regional players participating in the Newspaper Cup. The municipality of Gobabis undertook the rehabilitation of Legare Sports Complex Field A, with construction currently at 75% complete. Funded through the municipal budget, this ongoing project aims to upgrade public recreational spaces, with the official opening set as a priority for the 2026-2027 fiscal year. Honorable Chairperson, honorable members, moving on to the youth empowerment pillar, which is pillar number 3. An underskilled workforce is the biggest bottleneck to industrialization. To unlock Omaheke's manufacturing and mining potential, we must actively transition our youth from economic-based bystanders to technically capable operators and entrepreneurs through extensive training in business skills, vocational courses, and direct credit schemes. This pillar outlines how the region is transforming its youth demographic into a highly productive asset ready to fuel our industrial future. The Directorate of Youth Development Initiatives executed several targeted youth development and economic empowerment initiatives during the reporting period. Namibia Youth Credit Scheme, NYS, reached 74 youth beneficiaries with mobilization, entrepreneurship training, and the formal signing of loan agreements, utilizing an allocation of 557,000 direct loan disbursement. Youth cooperatives. One youth cooperative was formally established and registered with the Division of Cooperatives, which included the formalization of institutional bylaws and targeted management training for 20 youth members. Specialized agricultural training. The Directorate completed specialized training in mushroom production for 13 youth beneficiaries to establish a regional mushroom project for local income generation. UNICEF Upshift program delivered intensive entrepreneurship training to 25 upshifters and provided material and equipment support to an entrepreneur from a previous cohort, utilizing $128,829 equipment procurement and $153,000 for training operations via UNICEF funding. Skills for Girls project. In partnership with UNICEF, the Directorate completed a curriculum workshop that sensitized adolescent girls on science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, and TVET trained technical and vocational education and training fields, encouraging vulnerable girls to enroll in technical courses backed by an allocation of $153,000. Life skills training reached 54 adolescent girls and boys and young men and women through interactive workshops focused on comprehensive life skills. UN Women Empowerment Project. In partnership with UN Women, the Directorate reached 190 adolescent girls, boys, and young women with psychological support, economic empowerment training, and community engagement, utilizing an allocation of 419,000 inclusive operational training and business toolkits. National Youth Service enrollment formally enrolled 31 trainees at the Berghokas Youth Training Center and 8 trainees at the Kaikanahab Youth Training Center. The Pijoo constituency supported local entrepreneurship and economic diversification through the donation of specialized tire repair equipment provided to the Kamuhenune SME project at the cost of $22,500. Strengthening the small enterprises. Honorable Chairperson, honorable members, We are now taking into the quality education and training pillar. Education is the ultimate foundation of socio-economic transformation. A literacy rate that lacks in rural areas or in underperforming school system directly impacts our future economic competitiveness. Investing in infrastructure and teacher training programs, we're ensuring that the children of Omaheke graduate with the literacy, numeracy, and technical competency required to lead our regional manufacturing and mining sectors. Regional education profile and literacy education remains a key pillar for the socio-economic transformation of the Omaheke region. According to the 2023 population and housing census conducted by the Namibia Statistics Agency, and new statistics will be launched now on the 15th, the regional literacy rate among persons aged 15 years and above stand at 76%. Literacy levels remain significantly higher in urban areas, 84.7%, and in rural areas, 68.8%. Underscoring the ongoing need to expand educational opportunities in our rural communities, school attendance remains strong among school-aged children, with enrollment rates highest among children aged 7 to 14 years. Early childhood development, ECD participation, now you will wonder why 7 to 14 years. It's after 14 years that you start seeing school dropouts. But from that age to that age, enrollment is very high. Stands at 11.7% for children aged 0 to 5 years, indicating a significant potential for the further expansion of early learning services. Honorable Chairperson, honorable members, the Directorate of Education, Innovation and Youth, Sports and Culture continue to prioritize quality education across all educational phases, from primary schooling to the Namibia Senior Secondary Certificate Advanced Subsidiary level. Learner performance has shown a steady improving trajectory, particularly in foundational literacy and numeracy. Key operational metrics include an average promotion rate of 80% was a shift in both the primary and senior secondary phases. Of course, we want 100% and not 80%, reflecting encouraging progress in teaching and learning outcomes. The junior secondary phase recorded an average promotion rate of 63.8%. That's not so good, highlighting an academic area requiring continuous structural intervention. And honorable councillors, I want us to be involved at all our schools. Let's visit schools. Let's push that 63.8% to 100%. The other day I had the privilege to speak to 4 schools, their teachers, on self-improvement, moving out of our comfort zone. And after my talk of 2 hours, I received SMSs from some of the teachers say, Governor, thank you very much. You really helped me to not become comfortable, but to grow myself. So these teachers need us. The region successfully maintained its national academic ranking at 12th position over the past 2 years, while the NSS-CAS results accorded a remarkable improvement, moving the region from 8th to the 5th position nationally. And while you clap hands, I'll drink water. We move people from 8 to 5. Epukiro Secondary School, Honorable Paki, and I have to applaud you for all your efforts in that school. Achieved an outstanding 4th national ranking in the NSS-CAS examination, demonstrating the region's growing academic excellence and providing a clear benchmark for other schools. I think Epukiro deserves a hand of applause, including the school board of that school, including the parents of that school, including the teachers of that school, including the learners of that school, and including the principal, because everything rises and falls with leadership. When the school do bad, the principal is a failure. When the school do good, the learners are good. Let's put our hands together for Mr. Vey. Wanivi Vey. The shortage of qualified SORA language teachers led to the regional directorate to initiate a targeted teacher training program through which 7 Namibian students pursued specialized education degrees in Botswana. I want my comrades from Botswana to please rise there. These comrades are at every event of Omaheke, and they have partnered up with Omaheke so beautifully, and they deserve a round of applause. They stay in Kalkfontein, where the founding father was handed over by Stanley to move further into Botswana. Very historical place, Kalkfontein. They have a lot of water there, and the councillor there was asking me, Governor, can we do fish farming here? I'm challenging you people who are entrepreneurs to visit Kalkfontein and go make money there. People go make money in Botswana. Money is lying around. They only need entrepreneurs. Stop looking at Omaheke. Go to Botswana. People go make money. Go become millionaires. If you don't become a millionaire, don't blame me. All 7 graduates have successfully completed their studies and have since then been deployed to schools within the Omaheke region. The CRO said we're going to Botswana to attend their graduation. The directorates have implemented several multi-million-dollar infrastructure development projects aimed at creating safe, modern, and conducive learning environments. New classroom blocks and ablution facilities were completed at a total cost of 319 million at the following schools: Asa Primary School, Oshombinde; Helena Primary School, Oshombinde; Gustav Kanji, Oshinene; Epukiro Post 3, Epukiro Constituency; Omuhaturwa Primary School, Epukiro Constituency. During this financial year, specialized classroom blocks incorporating internal toilets and storerooms were completed at a total cost of 4.7 million. The following institutions, Kwadabes Primary School, Khobabes; Ben van der Walt, Khobabes; Usiel Javera, Oshinene; Sophia Jacob Primary School, Aminus. In terms of social infrastructure, the Light of the Children Foundation was formally allocated 2.9 square meters of land by the Khobabes municipality in Epako to construct a dedicated center for persons with disabilities. And I think this is a welcome move in the right direction. When we had the Disability Day in Oshinene, people were asking me, Governor, what about us who are taking care of people who are disabled? Now, in normal countries, they have centers for people with disabilities. In Namibia, families are taking care of these people and friends, but no remuneration is going towards them. And I told Honorable Kavaka and Paki Pakarai and Seth Kashiwanyo that they must interrogate this point in Parliament so that those caregivers can get something to help themselves with. And I also want to applaud to all the men. Every disabled child that I have seen does not have a father. Yeah, they are always with their mothers only. Fathers, we must take responsibility for our children, whether they are disabled or not. Town planning and rezoning process currently is underway. Under the infrastructure plan management by the Directorate of Education, Innovation, Sports, Youth, and Arts and Culture, the new 106 million Dreamopsis Hostel Development Project explicitly incorporates the construction of dedicated sports field aimed at promoting physical education and infrastructural extracurricular activities for learners. Additionally, The establishment of Eureka Medical Institute in Hobabes have expanded across the accredited nursing education in the region. The institute currently enrolled 120 student nurses, comprising of 48 first-year diploma students, 36 second-year certificate in nursing auxiliary students, and has employed 5 lecturers. Sister Kaune is the rector there. She created herself a position as a rector. 1 security and 1 institutional worker. Honorable Chairperson, honorable members, the Division of Gender Equality, Poverty Eradication and Child Welfare recorded significant progress in expanding regional ECD services. A total ECD enrollment increased from 1,331 to 1,651 learners across 114 centers. This growth is largely contributed to the successful introduction of nutritional feeding programs across all ECD centers, which has drastically improved daily attendance and encouraged greater participation among young children. The region also continued to invest in skills development programs that improve educational outcomes, promote employability, and strengthen community resilience. Teaching at the Right Level program successfully implemented in Omaheke schools during the financial year under review. Comprehensive assessment results show that the proportion of learners unable to read declined drastically from 51.1% to 28.1%. I think that deserves a hand of applause. And following the implementation of this program, this remarkable achievement earned the Omaheke region formal recognition as one of the best performing government integrated regions among the 10 regions implementing this program. We are among the 10 best. People, we are among the 10 best. You know, when people are giving children names, sometimes they give names like Musian, meaning black boy, Karep, meaning not so smart. And these names become text to us. So when you are forever negative on yourself, you don't see any positivity. But here we are amongst the 10 best as a region. The Omaheke Library hosted the National Readathon and successfully provided basic computer skills, training to 76 community members, effective study skills for secondary school learners, and vocational skills development, training to 170 community members to promote self-employment in support of women's financial independence. The Division of Gender Equality, Poverty Eradication and Child Welfare funded 21 women from all 7 constituencies to undertake an advanced basic sewing course conducted by the Hobabes Vocational Training Center. The Hobabes municipality allocated 2 hectares of land to the Ministry of Education, Innovation, Youth, Sports and Culture for the construction of a new primary school. And that school was built in 2 months by a black man called Johnny Boilder. In 2 months, the school is completed, it's painted. Those people were working like Chinese day and night. It's doable. It can be done. It can be done, and that's why the president of this country say, if we work 8 to 5, we cannot build this country. We need to increase our working hours. I was one day at the councillor's office, I won't mention, and this worker came and said, "Councillor, it's 5 o'clock, I'm going home." I said, at my office, people don't go home when it's 5 o'clock. They go home when they are done with their work. And last night when I was passing that office at past 10, my PA was still at the office. And they are doing that, all my workers, all my co-workers, not my workers, my co-workers. They do that. They go home when they are done, and I don't need to tell them. So we have to change our work ethics. During the 2025-2026 financial year, the Directorate of Youth Development implemented various social development, entrepreneurship, and economic notable progress was made in promoting youth well-being. 174 out-of-school youth received comprehensive skills training covering sexual and reproductive health, gender-based violence, prevention and economic strengthening, enhancing the resilience and socio-economic well-being of young people in the region. Honorable Chairperson, honorable members, on health and social welfare. A resilient industrial economy requires a healthy, secure, and socially stable workforce. Malnutrition, unreliable hospital infrastructure, and gaps in child welfare protection directly undermine community stability and economic productivity. This pillar outlines our massive intervention in health infrastructure, ranging from backup power systems at major hospitals to early childhood feeding programs and social grants. By securing the physical and social health of our citizens, we are protecting the human capital that drives our manufacturing and mining ambitions. The Gobabis municipality achieved approximately 80% business registration and compliance through rigorous environmental health inspections and consultations. When I became governor, I said I want the town to be colored. And today that town is colored. Is having every one of Namibia is now in the main center of Gobabis. Previously, it wasn't the case, and I have to applaud those who dare opening shops there and businesses. Improving public health compliance using its operational budget during the 2025-26 financial year, the Ministry of Health and Social Services made significant progress in strengthening health infrastructure across the Omaheke region through maintenance, renovation, and rehabilitation projects aimed at improving the safety and reliability of healthcare delivery. Key infrastructure milestones include emergency power security, successful supply installed and commissioned a new 350 kVA backup power generator at the Gobabis District Hospital at a cost of 1.4 million, funded at the national level. This project ensures uninterrupted health services delivery during power outage, safeguarding the hospital's emergency and critical care capacity, clinic rehabilitation, completed infrastructure improvements, including new windows, floor tile replacements, plumbing works, and interlock installation at the Regional Health Office and the Paco Primary Healthcare Clinic. Sanitation systems replaced damaged sewer lines and cleared blocked manholes at the Pijoo Clinic, while upgrading the entire sewer system at the ASAP Clinic to improve sanitation, hygiene, and environmental safety. Operational facilities procured electrical materials for peripheral health facilities, completed minor renovations to the doctor's flat at the Oshinene Health Care Center, and ablution blocks at the Paco Clinic, rehabilitated the entrance gate at Gobabis District Hospital to strengthen security, constructed a concrete platform with an IBR shade at the Transkalari Port Health Facility, and installed heavy-duty washing lines and glazing at Gobabis District Hospital. All planned minor capital projects were successfully completed during the reporting period. Human resource capacity was significantly strengthened through the appointment of 92 new staff members across various professional categories, and I want all government officials to go test the hospital out. I'm going there for my medical treatment. Wonderful doctors, young doctors, your own children are there. The hospital is very clean, very, very clean. Service is excellent, despite few challenges. And like the President says, we can never improve public facilities if we politicians and if we government officials do not go there. There can never be facilities for them and for us. That's the command of our President, and we must adhere to that. Director of Health, I hope those doctors are the ones treating you. Are they? Are they? If they are not, please make sure they treat you. Only when you start being treated there, will your nurses also be treated there? We cannot have two systems in one government and in one country, including medical officers, pharmacists, registered nurses, environmental health practitioners, social workers, technical personnel, and support staff. The ministry also continued investing in workforce deployment by supporting 7 health professionals pursuing further specialized studies in fields such as health promotion, clinical diagnosis, nursing science, emergency nurse care, and pediatric nursing. Honorable Chairperson, honorable members, despite these achievements, the health sector continues to face critical challenges, including limited budget allocation for minor capital projects, aging health infrastructure, shortage of medical equipment, insufficient transport for preventive maintenance and referral services, looking at malnutrition. During the period from April 2025 to March 2026, the pediatric ward, children's ward, recorded critical data regarding the clinical admission and management of severe acute malnutrition among children aged 0 to 59 months. New admissions of total 329 new patients were admitted to the facility for specialized therapeutic care. The ward recorded 66 cases of patients. I know, Pastor Foxen, you are smiling because Dr. Foxen, this is her department. You can see how hard she's working. Either returned for care or defaulted from initial treatment regimes. A total of 138 patients were successfully treated and discharged from the facility. There were 53 recorded instances where patients either absconded or left the facility by signing formal consent to leave against medical advice. Now the doctor is advising you, let the child stay. You decide, I'm taking my child home. We must also become serious. Good news, but not so good news, but good news. The mortality rate declined from 15% to 4% during the reporting period. 15 to 4%. I think there's something that we are doing good as a region. 2 years ago or 3 years ago, when we spoke about malnutrition and death among young children, we were talking of high figures. Now from 15 to 4%. And we can still do better. There are still parents who wait until it's almost late, then they bring their children to hospital. Apparently, they are calculating that this child, if I take the child to hospital now, it will take about 6 to 8 months, and it will be my Makiti time, apparently. It's sickening, but it's true. It's abnormal, but it's true. We can't do that. Honorable Chairperson, honorable members, looking ahead to the 2026-27 financial year, priority health intervention will include, and this is good news, Honorable Garisep, I know this was your dream, construction of Chaka Benhe Primary Health Care Clinic is coming. Those are the trees that we planted. Honorable Rocco, construction of Duplessis Plus Primary Health Care Clinic. The construction of Aminus Primary Health Care Center, Honorable Kavari. Renovation of health facilities, upgrading and renovation of Hobabes District Hospital. Procurement of a new 150 kVA backup power generator set at Oshinene Healthcare Center. Epukiropos 3 Primary Healthcare Clinic and Talismanes Primary Healthcare Clinic. Procurement of 2.FX600 washer extractor for Hobabes District Hospital. The Ministry of Finance to allocate adequate funds to the operational budget to ensure timely servicing and repairs. Ministry of Finance to allocate more funds to the development budget to ensure minor capital projects and maintenance are carried out. Expand and upgrade infrastructure to respond to population growth. Procurement of medical and operational equipment, including long-term servicing and preventative maintenance, should be prioritized to avoid interruption of services. social welfare-related matters, efforts by the Directorate of Gender Equality and Childcare Protection. Significantly, progress was achieved in strengthening social welfare services through targeted child protection intervention, physio-psychological support, social protection initiatives, and community awareness campaigns contributing to improve household welfare and community resilience. Under childcare and protection, comprehensive social work services were provided to children affected by violence, gender-based violence, trafficking in persons, abandonment, neglect, and malnutrition. Services included trauma counseling, family support referral, care planning, and the preparation for vulnerable witnesses for court proceedings. A total of 85 new child protection cases were registered, of which 71 cases were finalized up to the care plan stage. The cases primarily involved physical abuse, sexual abuse, and severe child neglect, with formal criminal cases opened in 83% of reported cases. In addition, child neglect cases involving a child-headed household at Vergenoeg were successfully managed through family tracing, hostel placement, and care plan development. Psychosocial support services remained a critical intervention for vulnerable youth facing teenage pregnancy, behavioral changes, attempted murder, HIV-related issues, substance abuse, material deprivation, and hostel fee exemption. During the reporting period, 834 new psychosocial cases were registered, of which 721, 86%, were successfully finalized. Efforts to reintegrate children living and working on the streets yielded positive results. 6 children were successfully reintegrated into the education system, achieving a 100% reintegration rate. 17 vulnerable children participated in a comprehensive rehabilitation and skills development program implemented in partnership with the National Youth Service. 5 children returned to the Omaheke region and continue to receive daily psychosocial support and 3 nutritious meals per day. Families of vulnerable children benefited from targeted rice donations mobilized through business partners, while 3 more children were prepared for formal school and hostel placement in June this year, 2026. Honorable Chairperson, honorable members, alternative care and child justice services registered 116 cases, including kinship care and residential placement, of which 64 cases were finalized. Furthermore, 37 children in conflict with the law were formally assessed, and 20 children were successfully delivered from the criminal justice system through to the child justice program. Prioritizing rehabilitation over prosecution, violence prevention remained a priority through extensive awareness campaigns conducted in schools and communities regarding violence against children, online sexual abuse, GBV, and trafficking in persons. ECD services recorded notable achievements through the implementation of a nationwide feeding program executed in collaboration with the ministries responsible for education, gender equality, and health community liaison officers. Educators and volunteer cooks received training in food preparation to ensure the safe delivery of the program. A total of 2,000 bags of instant porridge were distributed to 102 ECD centers, drastically improving child nutrition and increasing overall ECD enrollment from 1,300 to 1,600 learners across 114 centers. Water tanks and utility connections were completed at these centers, ensuring reliable access to safe drinking water. In addition, 131 educators continue to receive monthly subsidies, while 2 new playgrounds were constructed. 87 teaching and learning kits were also distributed to these centers. In terms of livelihoods and women's empowerment, 21 women successfully completed an advanced sewing course, equipping them with practical vocational skills to promote local income generation. Full renovation at the Apako Women's Center were completed, substantially upgrading the quality of services and facilities available to women and the surrounding community. Community awareness on gender equality reached 281 community members through targeted awareness meetings. Social protection programs continue to provide an essential safety net to vulnerable households. During the reporting period, social grants totaling, and I must drink water here first, this is big numbers. Now, this is things that we must really take into cognizance. Social grants. And these are the things that maintain many households. Government has spent, and I'm going to read it up to the last cent, 12,130,492 were dispersed in Omaheke alone, benefiting 17,614 eligible beneficiaries across the region and contributing directly to household welfare and poverty reduction. I think the 8th administration deserves a hand of applause. Now, the third part is that there are loan sharks, people with cash loans who are giving these people apparently loans and charge them 30%. It's ungodly, it's unchristian. Also giving these people alcohol on credit and putting these people in a trap where they can't get freed from. As community members, we have to safeguard these wrong practices. And as those people who are practicing this, we must desist from it. Your money will not be blessed, I guarantee you. It will come in and out, and you won't know how it come in and out, but it will come in and out. And even if it's my prayer, I will pray that it come in and go out, and don't stay in your house. Despite these milestones, critical structural challenges remain. Social services delivery is severely constrained by critical shortage of personnel, with only 3 social workers serving all 7 constituencies. Honorable Chairperson, honorable members, regarding the creative industries, industrialization is enriched by a thriving creative economy that drives social cohesion, regional marketing, and youth employment. The creative industry transforms cultural heritage into economic assets by hosting major national events like Miss Namibia. Miss Namibia is coming, people. And investing in filmmaking workshops for unemployed youth. Omaheke is diversifying its local economy, showcasing its industrial tourism potential, and generating modern, non-traditional employment opportunities for our creative sector. The Omaheke region continues to promote and celebrate its rich cultural heritage through targeted arts and culture initiatives. Annually, constituency arts and culture festivals are held across all 7 constituencies to select cultural groups to represent their communities at the regional level. After nearly 10 years without hosting a centralized regional cultural festival, the region successfully revived and hosted the Regional Arts and Culture Festival in Oshinene at the end of March 2026. The event attracted over 500 active participants from across the region and approximately 300 community members, serving as a platform for celebrating local traditions, arts, crafts, music, dance, and diverse cultural history. The region is home to several registered out-of-school and school-based cultural groups that regularly showcase their talents at national events, preserving indigenous knowledge and customs for future generations. In terms of historical preservation, the Directorate is currently engaging in consultative meetings with constituency councillors and traditional authorities to identify and document potential heritage sites, including ancient rock engravings, traditional villages, and landmarks. These initiatives aim to preserve the region's identity while promoting heritage tourism and local economic development. Currently, the Omaheke region possesses 2 formally recognized heritage sites: the Odombudo Vindimba, where we had our Genocide Remembrance Day, the Inoshinene constituency, the Shifosea Kutako Memorial Museum in Aminus constituency, to support cultural entrepreneurs and strengthen the creative economy. The Directorate plans to provide intensive business skills training to artists, crafters, and cultural practitioners over the next 2 quarters. This training will equip participants with entrepreneurial and marketing skills, enabling them to turn traditional art forms into sustainable economic ventures. Concurrently, the subdivision of adult education plans to train community members in vocational skills for self-employment, specifically dishwashing liquid soap production across Aminus, Leonardville, Witfley, and Dreamiopsis during this year. In media and film development, the Namibia Film Commission undertook a comprehensive regional film stakeholders engagement in Omaheke. This initiative aimed to decentralize film industry development, informing the local community about funding opportunities and industry support programs for the 2026-2027 cycle, while identifying unique regional stories, filming locations, and local talent. This engagement explores the region's significant untapped cultural and tourism storytelling potential to contribute to national film growth. Similarly, the NBC Drama School successfully trained 22 unemployed youth from Omaheke in script writing and filmmaking, enabling them to actively participate in the mainstream economy. The Omaheke region is privileged to be hosting the upcoming Miss Namibia and Miss Teen Namibia national beauty pageants, a massive stage that will draw households, thousands of visitors to the town of Gobabis. Those of you who have houses, please move to a friend house and make money with your house. This is a time of money making. You can come back and sleep again in your house, but for now, vacate your house, fumigate it properly, move to a neighbor's house or your friend's house or your mother's house and make money. We need accommodation. So far we have about 18 houses. We still need houses. All accommodation is fully booked. The Miss Namibia pageant forms, and you know, when you look at the dam, they have, through this Miss Namibia, built an amphitheater there. Some people can see opportunities. It's like the funeral undertaker. When he hears of a death, he knows he can also make money. And it's not his fault. That person must be buried and be given a decent funeral. So Miss Namibia is here. For those of you who can see opportunities, make use of this opportunity. I always have the example of a tree. When you give a tree to a herero like Mr. Semba and Rokongvova, they will sit under that tree until the shade is no more needed. When you give it to Honorable Garisep and Ausitalos, they see wood. The same with my in-laws. They see a yard, they make fence yards with it. When you give it to a Kavango, they see furniture. When you give it to Fanemerve, they will study the tree. How old is this tree? What is this tree composed of? And they will fence off the tree, and every year people will come and pay to see the tree. And they have continued income. So the question is, what are you going to do with the tree? That on a lighter note, and that's the one beautiful thing about Namibians, we can make jokes with one another and about one another and still learn from those jokes. So the Miss Namibia pageant forms a vital part of our broader creative economy, offering lucrative platforms for local makeup artists, fashion designers, choreographers, photographers, and performing artists. The pageant cast a golden marketing spotlight on the region, aligning perfectly with the 6th National Development Plan by leveraging creative industries to drive social cohesion, youth deployment, and economic diversification. As part of our creative and active twinning relationship with the Charles Hill District in Botswana, the Office of the Governor, together with the Chairperson of Regional Council, went with the Miss Namibia organization. The top 10 finalists undertook a strategic cultural visit to Botswana. During this mission, the delegation partook in various bilateral activities, including tracing the historical footprints of our founding father and the late President Dr. Sam Shafishuna Nujoma into Botswana. And I want to thank you, Honorable Chairperson, for the hospitality that you and traditional councillors accorded this delegation. And we also had the privilege to have Ms. Botswana joining Ms. Namibia. This is true partnership. Honorable Chairperson, honorable members, concerning land, housing, and sanitation, which is the 7th pillar. A dignified life begins with secure land tenure, safe housing, and clean sanitation. Industrial expansion is impossible without corresponding expansion of urban and rural infrastructure to support the workforce. This extensive pillar outlines our systematic efforts to resettle farmers, establishing new townships, construct hundreds of affordable housing units through the Build Together program, and upgrade our water networks, restoring functional utilities and expanding housing options directly build the stable, formalized environment required to anchor long-term industrial investment. Efforts to improve land rights, affordable housing options, and rural resettlement infrastructure remain essential for supporting the livelihoods and dignity of residents across the region. During the 25-26 financial year, essential advancements were made in formal land administration, highlighted by the registration of 356 customary land rights to directly increase access to affordable housing and reduce informal settlements. The Czech Dwellers Federation of Namibia, one of my heroes, completed 50 houses in Freedom Square, with an additional 77 houses actively under construction. And Freedom Square really looks beautiful. They are basically saying goodbye to corrugated iron sex. And I want the local authority to really support these people. Our people can no longer live in corrugated iron houses. The president declared housing as an emergency. It's an emergency. And when the commander-in-chief says jump, you don't ask how high, you just jump. I want regional councillors and local authority councillors to jump. Let's jump and provide housing. And you can provide housing by simple ways. Start making bricks. Engage communities in the making of bricks, in the digging of trenches. Take those youth that can build to start building houses. Housing should not become something that is scientifical. It's a simple thing. We can do it. The Czech dwellers are doing it. And as women at the forefront who are doing it. Agricultural expansion and national land distribution were heavily reinforced through the Ministry of Acquisition of 5 district farms during the 2025-26 financial year, which included Farm Carolina Hof, and I know you people will start coming to my office now. The farm is not yet in my hand. Number 269 in the Kalari constituency, portion 1 called Etna, of Farm Batiapa, number 539 in the Aminus constituency, the remainder of the Farm Anhem, 540 in the Aminus constituency, Farm Rich Lane, number 421 in the Kalari constituency, Farm Kehoro South in the Okorukambe constituency. Coupled with these strategic acquisitions, the land reform program successfully resettled 47 previously disadvantaged Namibians. It's 47 in the Omaheke region. We resettled 47. I know we still have vet flea. We're looking at vet flea still. But 47 were resettled. 3 beneficiaries at Farm Davis, number 477, while 3 beneficiaries consisting of individuals of Botswana and Namibia descent were resettled at the newly acquired farm Rich Lane. Though a targeted resettlement farm congestion program, structural adjustment allowed one farmer from farm Du Plessis number 250, another farmer from farm Kokuros number 1085, and 7 others from farm Skoonheid to be resettled at the remaining extent of farm Wimsres number 433 and farm Viesta number 44, respectively. Concurrently, a total of 32 farmers who had previously been grazing in the Gobabes municipal area and Chaka farm were also successfully resettled on farm Fiesta number 440. And these farmers are telling me, Governor, ons boer lekker. They say so. They say so far, die diere ween net hier rondom die huis, die veld het genoeg kos. They say, Governor, as jy daar kom, ons slag vir jou as kapiekie. They say so. To systematically address communal land pressure, Farm Alpha, number 682 of 6,700 hectares, was formally allocated to the Aminus constituency to extend the Aminus communal land boundaries. These land administration frameworks currently generated essential revenue totaling 209,000, resettled farm leases 147,500, communal areas, household payments. Despite these milestones, critical challenges remain regarding institutional landowners and functional utility access for new occupants. Non-functional water infrastructure currently exists on resettlement farms allotted in 2025-2026 financial year due to the lengthy period between the initial acquisition of a farm and its formal allocation, which constitutes the delay beneficiaries from physically occupying these units. Housing-related efforts through the Omaheke Regional Council, significant progress have been achieved under the Build Together program, where 54 houses out of 70 have been completed, including 12 in Epukiro, 8 in Talismanes, 34 in Aminus, with the remaining 16 set to be completed during the current financial year. Additionally, Build Together houses are actively being constructed in ASAP 10 with a budget of 3.2 million, constructed 41 houses units, while the Talismanes Build Together housing project is also ongoing with a budget of 2 million to construct 25 housing units. Alongside these residential projects, the renovation of the Talismanes Community Hall has been completed with only tiling and minor work remaining to be finalized when additional funds become available. The Gobabes municipality implemented multiple concurrent programs to facilitate housing development, accelerate land delivery, and upgrade infrastructure. In Epako, 32 Build Together houses were formally handed over to the beneficiaries to reduce the housing backlog. A total of 46 residential elven were allocated to beneficiaries in Epako and Nossobel to increase land ownership status. Number Vainant, I think we can do better. If we have an informal setup of 4,000 houses, we cannot pat our shoulders by providing 32 houses. It's a house on fire. We need to do better. Honorable Mayor, we can do better, and honorable councillors of Gobabes municipality. When you look at housing in Oshinene, it's flourishing. Aminus, flourishing. Gobabes, we need to do better. To address the housing backlog, the Omaheke Regional Council allocated land to developers. The Development Workshop of Namibia was allocated 225 residential urban in Nossobel. This is beautiful, Gobabes. To provide affordable land, Star Merchandising was allocated 225 residential urban in Nossobel, and the Czech Dwellers Federation of Namibia was allocated 74 urban for a middle-income group and 84 urban for a low-income group in Nossobel. All 3 developer projects are currently awaiting approval from the Urban and Regional Planning Board. Now that's one word that the President does not like, is the word work in progress. She doesn't like it. When we have allocated, we must say it's ready for occupation. It cannot be still with a township board, it's still with rezoning. This is not good enough for the president. Should also not be good enough for us. A budget provision of 380,000 was allocated for surveying work in Canaan, which is currently progressing alongside the recruitment and filling of the community services officer position to accelerate land servicing. The municipality increased its sanitation workforce by recruiting 32 temporary sanitation workers and improved waste collection capacity by procuring a skip container truck with the planned reprocurement of a front-end loader and deployment of skip container. Caretakers ongoing. Now, with a skip container, also regrettably, our people are throwing the rubbish next to the skip container. I don't know why. The skip container is empty, but we throw the rubbish next to the skip container. To systematically mitigate urbanization pressure in Oshinene and Epukiro, Post 3, the Regional Council initiated formal town planning processes to establish new township in Oshuaneho and Oshiarwa, allocating a dedicated budget of 500,000 for each. Furthermore, comprehensive township establishment activities were undertaken to transition ASAP 10 and Corridor 13 from informal centers to structured settlement. Councillor Bomakwe, with 1 million allocated to ASAP 10 and 500,000 to Corridor 13. The Ministry of Urban and Rural Development, in partnership with the Regional Council, also successfully procured neighboring commercial farmland to expand the capacity of the Beta Post Border Post settlement, which included a portion of Farm Sunfontein, number 468, and Farm Arbeidsgenot at a cost of 33,500,000. The formal town planning, rezoning, and consolidation planning process for this newly acquired land has been executed at a cost of 1.1 million. Broader institutional infrastructure expansion programs are also being pursued to resolve the distinct housing and capacity challenges within public facilities. Hobabe's Vocational Training Center, actively pursuing an infrastructure expansion program that specifically includes student accommodation facilities to address these accommodation challenges. Hobabe's youth facility remains at phase 1 with only 1 office block completed. Implementation is currently pending for phase 2 and 3, which are planned to consist of a youth-friendly health clinic, a gym, and a hostel facility. Meanwhile, the Regional Youth Center at Farm Du Plessis remains underutilized compared to other similar youth centers within the Directorate. Correctional facility, currently undergoing an extensive infrastructure expansion project. And Assistant Commissioner, you did not invite me to come and look what you are doing. Maybe you want to surprise me, which will be implemented in 3 distinct phases. Phase 1 of the project is underway, involving the construction of new inmate accommodation comprising 3 living units, with completion expected by 21 March 2027. Phase 2 will comprise the construction of specialized program delivery facilities, while Phase 3 will involve construction of additional office space to enhance administrative capacity. Upon completion of Phase 1, the expanded infrastructure will significantly reduce inmate overcrowding in communal cells, improve living conditions, and enhance safe, secure, and humane custody. Leonardville Village Council. Under the Build Together housing program, the Council allocated 560,000 towards the completion of 7 Build Together houses for qualifying beneficiaries to further address housing demand. The Council is currently awaiting the release of 1 million to construct an additional 13 Build Together houses. The Leonardville Village Council appointed engineering consultant to undertake the planning and design of a new residential extension comprising of approximately 1,400 urban, as well as a planning of 20-hectare industrial area to create opportunities for future residential development and attract investment to support economic growth. To facilitate the future expansion, the Leonardville Council also appointed a registered surveyor to undertake surveying works for Extension 1 and 2, which have been successfully completed and are currently awaiting payment from the Ministry for the service rendered. Lastly, the Ministry of Defense and Veteran Affairs has committed to construction of 2 veteran houses during 2026-2027 financial year. The beneficiaries is the wife of Milner Tlapanelo, our hero, Ms. Mihes Tlapanelo, and Mr. Moses Unje Nganate. On matters of sanitation, the Vetflay Village Council focused heavily on upgrading its functional infrastructure and water management, acquiring severe truck and a tipper truck that has strengthened its internal capacity to deliver sanitation and waste management services. The Council also procured prepaid water meters to enhance revenue collection, improve water management, and promote efficient water use among residents, while systematically upgrading several roads within the village boundaries to improve accessibility, road safety, and land service delivery. Leonardville Village Council has similarly advanced its sanitation and infrastructure operations, receiving an allocation of 1.8 million for the procurement of a tipper truck, which is now fully operational and supporting municipal operations, road maintenance, infrastructure development, and waste management. Honorable Chairperson, I must mention that Leonardville Village Council, every year they report on progress. They really report on progress. They report on progress. Something is happening in Leonardville. It also successfully spent 154,583 on rehabilitation of the village sewer pump to ensure the continued effective operation and reliability of the sewerage system. Across the wider region, the Omaheke Regional Council successfully constructed 95 flushing toilets in rural areas at a cost of 1.5 million. The Okorukambe constituency started a targeted toilet construction project in 2025-2026 financial year, benefiting 27 households. This project will continue into the 2026-2027 financial year, allowing more households to benefit. Looking in water-related programs, the Hobabes municipality is currently transitioning from conventional water meter system to a prepaid water meter system, backed by a substantial budget allocation of 15,995,000. This transition is now 80% implemented and is specifically designed to improve municipal revenue collection, systematically reduce water losses, and promote highly responsible water consumption habits among residents. Similarly, the Vetflay Village Council procured prepaid water meters to optimize the local water meter management and revenue frameworks. In the Pukiro constituency, 3 rural water point projects were successfully completed through a targeted investment of more than $92,000 in infrastructure. This initiative specifically funded the provision of a borehole component at the Oshinoko water point for $14,271, various borehole equipment at the Onjora water point for $62,000, and a borehole pump at the Ovitua water point for $15,812. Moving beyond localized water points, larger scale supply intervention achievement, the installation of boreholes in the Chaka, Benhe, and ASAP 10 settlements at a total cost of 3.7 million, successfully alleviating the acute water crisis in those areas. While the one remaining borehole in Benhe is scheduled for installation in the next financial year, as funds become available, access to clean, reliable water infrastructure remains a fundamental cornerstone for both rural community development and sustainable urban resource management across the region. Looking into matters of procurement, the Omaheke Regional Council's Procurement Management Unit, under the chairmanship or women's chairmanship, how do you say when a woman is a chairman? I think it remains chairmanship of Constant Vandenaar, our Director of Health, completed public procurement activities for goods, works, and services totaling 75 million during the fiscal year period under review. This initiative achieved an exceptionally high level of local participation, directing 60,418,000, representing 80.3% of all public procurement contracts, specifically towards supporting local small and medium enterprises within the Omaheke region. Thank you very much, Ms. Vandenaar and your committee. The targeted financial support directly enhanced local economic participation, built internal commercial capacity, and successfully improved overall service delivery across the broader Omaheke community. Honorable Chairperson, honorable members, on to matters of safety and security. Commissioner Shivede is sitting upright. The police infrastructure and station development is actively underway for the new Epako Police Station capital project, and I know you just want to move in, which includes the construction of 2 houses, 1 male barracks, 1 female barracks, and modern holding cells. The capital project has reached 20.5% physical progress and is securing schedule for completion by 26 March next year. This infrastructure investment is intended to elevate several constraints on accommodation and office space within the station's expanding jurisdiction. In terms of proactive community policing and engagement, targeted crime prevention and awareness campaigns were rolled out across 12 schools within the region. Commissioner Shivede, I must say, Chief Inspector Fina Elako is doing a good job in terms of mobilizing communities and spreading the word. I saw it at the day of the public service delivery in the Pukiro constituency. She represented you very well. Specifically tackling critical issues such as bullying, it happened in schools, gang violence, and these bullied children are children who are seeing how people are bullied at home, drug abuse, the carrying of dangerous weapons, and school vandalism. Concurrently, the force conducted 16 formalized community meetings with local residents, youth groups, business stakeholders, and bar shebeen owners. These sessions focus heavily on mitigating substance abuse, noise pollution, localized community safety concerns, and the illegal sale of alcohol to minors. These operational efforts successfully led to the direct resolution of 20 distinct community problems, addressing youth violence, alcohol abuse, noise complaints, and localized disputes. Additionally, community policing teams completed 15 media engagement to broadcast safety information on Liquor Act regulations, drug abuse, and crime prevention, and participated in 3 regional expos and career fairs. Regarding narcotics and specialized law enforcement operations, the force registered 60 drug-related offenses during the 2025-26 financial year, which comprise of 18 cases for dealing in cannabis. Cannabis, mandrakes in 40, maybe the cannabis went into me, and 42 cases for possession. These operations resulted in the successful arrest of 69 males and 4 females, yielding a total illicit contraband seizure value of 18,927. Is it 18 million? Yeah, 18 million. For major crime trends and criminal investigations, a total of 17 meta cases were recorded during the reporting period, with 4 cases completely solved, 6 currently under active investigation, and 7 successfully placed on the formal court roll. State of the region is no joke, people. When I see some of you going in and out there, I thought you don't pity me, seriously. With 298 cases of housebreaking and theft registered, involving 210 residential and 88 business premises. Furthermore, 92 cases of stock theft were reported, resulting in 59 arrests and a total of 61 head of cattle and 180 sheep were stolen, valued at 11.1 million. Recovery efforts successfully retrieved stock valued at 721,000. Meanwhile, domestic violence, common assault, and assault with intent to do grievously bodily harm remain highly relevant across the region, with investigations concluding that alcohol abuse, drug abuse, jealousy, and poverty serve as the primary drivers of these offenses. Commissioner, you almost did very good with the Shabin closing. Now maybe we should regulate their hours. Because I have seen when it becomes 12 o'clock, we become violent. 1 minute after 12, we become violent. So let all Shabins close before 12. Then these cases will drop. Also, is it not fair that we have schools going children and have to endure these noises? And alcohol can really bring poverty around. We are poor because of alcohol abuse. The reinforcement regional security operations and optimized service delivery, a total of 104 newly trained police officers from the 2024-2025 recruitment intake were deployed directly to the Omaheke region during the review period. Honorable Chairperson, honorable members, looking at capital road projects and proclamations during the last reporting period, the construction of both the Talismanes and the Pijoo du Plessis low-volume seal roads that were underway will continue into the new financial period, backed by a substantial budget allocation of 340 million for the Talismanes road and 117 million for the Pijoo road. These roads will go non-stop. It's no more 6 kilo, 6 kilo. It's going throughout, up to Talismanes, throughout, up to a Pijoo, and then beyond the Pijoo. So ours is a government of not promises, but practical work. You know, when we sign a contract with the community, we mean business. It's a manifesto, it's a contract. Additionally, the following roads have been recently proclaimed. Congratulations, Honorable Pakarai. DR387, Oshodonjima Village, Okodonje and Oshodonjima Village will get roads. DR3856, Ohakavena Oshiere Road. DR3858, Post 3 Oshiere Road. DR3855, Ovinyuru Oshitundu Road. DR3860, Oshiere Road, Oshitundu. Omburo Road. DR3851, Oshimanangombe, Omuramba Ombuyo Mbapa Road. DR3849, Okaperongo Omuramba. DR3837, Oshomungwindi, Omarindi Odondoroma, Oshombundiro Road. DR3848, Omuramba, Ombuyo Mbapa, Benjamin Post, Oshirongosha Marama, Oshirongosha Marama, Road Doctor 38, DR3859, Oshuarongo, Okamu. You know, my wife is influencing my Oshirero. Okamukombanje, Okarindi, Koshirumbu, Oshongoro, Otfairera Road, DR3852, Oshinoko, Dam 6, Orundu Road, DR3854, Oshikova Road. Now those are all roads that have been proclaimed, that have given numbers already. Now, Honorable Chairperson, Honorable Members, during the 25-26 financial year, the Hobabes Way Bridge maintained high operational compliance, weighing a total of 89,551 heavy vehicles. You can tell how many heavy vehicles are traveling between Hobabes and Botswana. 12,746 heavy vehicles, 14.2% were found to be overloaded in total The vast majority fell safely within the allowable 5% tolerance threshold and were issued formal warnings. Only 183 heavy vehicles exceeded this tolerance level and were formally charged, resulting in an excellent net load compliance rate of 98%. In addition to weight checks, the weighbridge conducted comprehensive vehicle and driver fitness inspections on 68,341 vehicles, heavy vehicles. This initiative revealed an outstanding compliance rate of 99.4%, with only 424% found to be non-compliant and subsequently charged. In terms of law enforcement and revenue collection, a total of 607 fines were issued for overloading, fitness, and transportation violations, generating 1.4 million in revenue. From this compliant amount, 660,000 has been successfully paid to the government, while the local magistrate court has issued warrants of arrest to execute the remaining unpaid fines. Traffic volume trafficking along the critical B6 road recorded a grand total of 197,000 vehicles utilizing the corridor during the review period. Those are not small numbers. This traffic flow was heavily driven by regional freight and international commerce, consisting of 127,761 heavy vehicles and 69,644 light vehicles. Moving dynamically between Hobabes and the Beta Border Post. Honorable Chairperson, honorable members, looking into electrification and great infrastructure performance, during the 25-26 fiscal year, SORA significantly advanced the region's infrastructure development and service delivery pillars by investing approximately 5,640 million into local grid expansion. This total deployment successfully brought 250 new household electricity connections to our rural and peri-urban communities, while the installation of key street lighting infrastructure directly improved public safety, notably major connectivity projects progress in Drimiopses, Oshinene, Blauberg, while 2 new 11 kVA reclosers were successfully commissioned for the Omaheke Regional Council and the Oshinene Village Council to significantly improve network reliability. Chairman, your problem is solved? Not yet. Not yet. Almost. And emergency response times. Beyond infrastructure, this initiative served as a vital socio-economic catalyst by creating employment and skills development opportunities for local contractors and youth. Looking ahead to the 2026-27 financial year, SORA is maintaining this momentum with a clear strategic focus on underdeserved communities and housing support. A combined pipeline budget of over 3.3 million have been designed to execute the Choruses, Chaka-Bene, and Aminus electrification projects, targeting an additional 88 households connections, while the organization continues to navigate cross-cutting challenges. Mitigating strategies are firmly in place through strict project prioritization, optimized resource management, and intensified stakeholder coordination. We are fully prepared to build long-term community resilience and unlock the industrial and socio-economic potential of the Omaheke region. Honorable Chairperson, honorable members, I want to breathe a bit. If you're in a plane, they will say, fasten your belt, we're about to land. The data I have presented today demonstrates that the Omaheke region is actively building on progress. From the grassroots self-sustainability of Okorukurure to the multi-million-dollar road networks cutting through our constituencies, we are laying the concrete groundwork for economic renaissance. But let me be absolutely clear. Agricultural self-sufficiency and social interventions are only the first phases of our journey. The fulfillment of our mandate under the 6th National Development Plan and to truly honor the vision of Her Excellency President Dr. Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah We must aggressively transition into an industrial powerhouse. Our theme this year, Unlocking Omaheke's Industrial Potential through Manufacturing and Mining, is our operational compass. We will not be content with exporting our raw materials, our raw cattle, our raw crops. We will add value right here in Omaheke. The establishment of our peanut processing plant and our scientific consultations on the Nyolatvel uranium project prove that we are ready to build factories, we are ready to secure mines, manufacturing high-value goods on our own soil. And I hope we all believe in what I'm saying, that we are ready. Can I see your hands whether we're ready to build factories? I see only one hand, not even behind me. Do I see hands? We have aligned our schools to produce technically competent youth, our infrastructure to handle heavy commerce, our police force to secure multi-million-dollar investments, and our procurement frameworks to empower local businesses. Every pillar of our administration is now synchronized to drive the industrial revolution. The challenges we face, whether they are transport constraints in our forestry sector, non-functional boreholes or newly acquired resettlement land, or infrastructure gaps in our youth facilities, are the indicators of where we must direct our energy and resources with greater intensivity in the 2026-27 financial year. We are too few to be poor. We are also too determined to be deterred. Let us march forward with unity of purpose. Let us transform Omaheke from a transit corridor into an industrial destination. Together we will unlock our manufacturing capabilities. We will secure our mining potential and ensure a shared, dignified prosperity for every single citizen of this beautiful region. May God bless our region. May God bless our president, and may God bless the Republic of Namibia. And I thank you.
We may be seated. Thank you, Honorable Governor, for the wonderful report that you gave to the inhabitant of Omaheke. Now we can see why you are the only survivor in all the regions. Let me recognize the president of the regional coordinator of SWAPO. I want to recognize my two brothers that came from Botswana also, the councillors and the businessmen. So you are doing a wonder, because each of every event that we have, as the governor said, you are always present. And Honorable Governor, I think that it should apply the same to us also. Yes. Now we have a performance of diverse NOSOP singers that I would like to call them upon so they can come and perform before we are opening the floor for questions. NOSOP group.
We are done with the final State of Region address that was delivered by the Governor of the Omaheke region, Pijoo Nganate. This was an extensive, very long State of Region address, but we are here now with Mr. Philip Prince, just to tell us what he thought about the SORAs. The SORA, did it meet his expectations or not? Good afternoon, Mr. Prince. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
Awesome.
So, the first question, let's dive into it. What did you think about the SORA? Did it meet your expectations, your hopes when you came here? Did he speak about what you thought he would speak about?
Yes and no. If I could say, Omaheke region starts 100 kilometers outside Windhoek, isn't it? But what I've heard and what he has said basically is development that has happened behind Gobabis, the constituencies before Gobabis, nothing is happening there for the local people. And, that's the thing that worries me the most. And even the youth, and with the current unemployment rate that we are having, it's a burden for the residents in those constituencies, especially the Okurukambe constituency.
He also spoke about agriculture, and Mr. Prince is a farmer himself. Yes. Did he speak about the expectations that you thought? Because farming or agriculture is really booming in the region. But now, coming from your perspective, as you said, Omaheke starts 100 kilos after Gobabis. After Windhoek, pardon me. How is the development agriculturally in Witvlei?
we are at commercial land, you know. Most of the farmers who are benefit are people who are at commercial lands, you know. We guys, we are at communal lands. Basically, we rent from the village council. You need to pay water, you need to pay the camps. So for us to farm, really, it is a big challenge. And we've approached the governor's office about the resettlement program. And as you have heard also in the address, he said that Witflay farmers, we are looking at it. But I mean, we're looking at this for how long? It's been 36 years, and nothing is happening for us really, you know. So, and we have a water treatment plant in Witflay that the regional office is working with for the past 13 to 15 years. The water treatment plant is also not finished. If it was finished, we could have benefited for irrigation from this water plant, but it's also dormant, it's not finished, you know, so nothing is happening. You guys must actually go there and see yourself, you know. Sometimes we're talking, we're writing letters to the president, we're in the media, we're in the newspapers, but nothing is happening, you know. So what I would suggest is maybe one day make a tent there in Witflay and we can go around for a tour, visit Omitara, go around for a tour, and then you will see with your own eyes what's happening. Yeah?
Yes. So the theme is unlocking Omaheke's industrial potential through mining and manufacturing. Does this speak to the people of the Omaheke region? I mean, a lot of things is being promised and said about what is going to happen. But in your opinion, does it speak to the region?
You're not going to believe what I'm going to say. There was a mine in Witflay that was closed like 3 months back, you know, because the governor's office promised that they're going to reopen the abattoir that's been closed for the past 10 or 15 years. And the mine is closed now. The people who were employed at that mine, they are also sitting at home, you know. So really, the governor has got good dreams and he's got good plans. But what I say is, without action and without empowering the people at grassroots, this is just lip service at the end of the day.
Yeah, but now that we see that they're actually looking into it, we can remain hopeful with that as well.
Yeah. I mean, it's not that I'm giving up hope, but as I've said, you know, it's been happening since independence. And when is the change going to come?
But a lot of growth has been done. As he spoke about the malnutrition, it has decreased in terms of infant mortality. So what can you also say about that? They are doing what work is being done, you know, slowly but surely, but it is being done.
Yes, I mean the numbers has dropped in Khobabe's constituency, you know, in Omaheke region also as the region, but where I live, you know, where I am really, there is a very little change, really, eh? Yeah.
There is very little change, but change is there.
Yeah, change is there.
So now looking at the projects, the housing projects, every Namibian deserves to have a home. And it's very evident that the governor and the government is really adamant in making sure that people have roofs over their heads. He did mention that as well.
Yes.
Did that speak to you and to the situation on the ground as well?
Yes, with the Shack Dwellers program, I mean, I think there's been 5 houses constructed in Witflay. Yes.
Okay, so thank you, Mr. Prince, for joining
welcome.
us for this post-SORA.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
That was Mr. Philip Prince from Witflay, a community activist, just giving us what he thought about what the governor of the Omaheke region, Nganate, mentioned in his State of Region address.
From your speech that when are we going to start exactly the dates? Because that project have been introduced for last financial year And we are currently in another new financial year where you're expecting the other region also to benefit from that project. And if it's not yet started, are we still delaying this until we finish this financial year for us to benefit? Because I do hope that Amines and Khopapes will be the next beneficiary. Yeah, in the last part of my question also, maybe that should be a sentiment or, yeah, it's from our area, Amines constituency per se. We are having this community called Bakhalakadi Banamibia. And they are resettling more on corridor 21, corridor 18, and 20 there. And this, to my understanding, these people, they are in between. Whether they are marginalized